Now time for the final test. I have to say I'm very nervous it works or it doesn't.
I can't. It won't start.
It won't start?
We're Jen, Elliot, and Ollie. In 2019, we booked a one-way flight to Colombia, and after traveling to 11 countries, we were locked down in India for 5 months. Coming back to the US, we decided to pivot into boat life and cruise on a 6,000-mile journey called America's Great Loop. Make sure to subscribe as we share the highs, lows, and everything in between. This is the next day. This is Sunday. This is how we're spending our Sunday. It is 10:30 in the morning, and we're in the engine compartment trying to move this stinking shaft seal. The last like 10% of the project. It always takes the longest, and it's always the hardest. So yeah, I hope your Sunday is more enjoyable and relaxing than ours is. Otherwise we might have to go to a marina.
Jen is using a piece of wood and a rubber mallet to basically bang down the prop shaft and kind of give some force on our seal. Yes, there's the recreation, just like that. Great form. We've had some practice. And then I'm on the other side basically pulling it and rotating it down the shaft.
Basically, Elliot's in our aft cabin in the little compartment that you can access the piece by.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of that wall.
Yeah.
Yay. Go team. We're gonna do this.
We got this.
We got this. Go show and Joe. Embrace the pivot. Embrace the pivot. Not ready. Alright, let's go.
Now?
Yep. Hard. Hard. Hard.
I'm going hard.
Okay. Hard. Hard. Should we take like a pancake break or something?
Yeah.
It was 9 inches originally, and we're at like 8 3/4 now.
We've only gone.
We have gotten compression. Woo.
It took 3 hours.
Yeah, it took 3 hours in the afternoon. It's now almost 2 p.m. Been working on it all day. Besides, we had a break for pancakes, so very important. We got to compress another 1/2 inch total, so instead of the 9, now it's 8 1/2. It's hard to say what it really should be. There's a couple differing things online about it. Something says between 8 and 8 1/4. Right now we're 8 1/2. And another thing says just 1/2 inch from rest. So, you know, I increased it, whatever it was compressed, by 1/2 inch. So, I don't know. We'll see. The plan is that Jen's going to be starting her up. I'm going to be back here keeping an eye on it. We're going to start really, really slow, turn on the engines, and then increase the throttle from idle to max RPMs. And if you need an update on everything that's going on right now, I explained a little bit of it in the last video, but basically to recap, when we were entering the Chesapeake yesterday from Portsmouth, we heard a knock, we looked down into the bilge, and we noticed water coming into our bilge, like a lot of water. Kind of freaked out for a second. Post that, we realized that the noise and the water were unrelated. The noise was basically, we had some like wooden panels that I had lifted up, so they were just like this when we were underway, so they just fell over. So the noise had nothing to do with it, but it did like make us check it at that point. And so basically at 1800 RPM we had a whole bunch of water spinning off of our shaft. but at 1600 there was nothing. So we decided to cruise to Deltaville because there's a good yard here, just in case we need to get pulled out at 1600. So it took a little bit longer yesterday than we normally cruise, but the cruise was fine. And so diagnosing it told me that I need to compress it a little bit more. So that's what we've done, and that's where we're at.
Some people are out enjoying the beautiful Sunday that it is.
We're doing boat work in exotic places.
Except it's not exotic. We're just doing boat work on America's Great Lakes.
Relatively. Alright. Let's do this.
Let's do this. The goal is not to sink the boat. Sometimes it's easier said than done. Alright, ready?
Yep.
I can't. It won't start.
It won't start?
That's problematic. Ready? I'll do it again. Oh. Do it again?
Yeah.
Forward. Neutral.
Everything looked good so far, especially the last one.
Okay.
I'm wondering if we should pull up the anchor to test.
Yes. Can I get out of these clothes?
Yeah, now, yeah. First test looks good. Idling and forward and neutral, no water spraying off. So that's good. And now we're gonna check with higher RPMs. We're just gonna let the engine warm up first.
Forward.
That looked good, now let's try reverse.
Now time for the final test. I have to say I'm very nervous. It feels like I've studied for an exam, and right now I'm taking the exam. So I feel like I've done enough, but you know, this is the day of reckoning. You know, it either works or it doesn't.
And it worked! Woohoo! Yeah! Yeah! We have a no leaking shaft! Woo! That was very challenging, mentally, physically, emotionally. So we're gonna go for a nice long dinghy ride this afternoon. We don't really know what's at the end of our dinghy ride, but we'll see how it goes.
What do you think of my new hat? I won this at the Looper Rendezvous. They do like a raffle, and throughout the event, like each night they grab somebody's name and you get a gift prize from one of the sponsors. So this was from Destination Panama City. Thank you. Well, we've run aground in the dinghy. It can be done, folks. It's deceptively shallow. We knew it was shallow, but I mean, like our draft is what, like a foot and a half? But we did run aground, so we're going back to the channel. And I think we're good now.
Yeah, so green is on our right side.
Yeah.
We have made it to the Deltaville Maritime Museum. It's kind of a tight approach getting in here. There's some bigger boats. Well, I mean not bigger boats, but like an oyster boat and crab boat that made it here. So I guess you could make it in a slightly larger boat, but this is cool. This is awesome. Let's check it out. I feel like we practically lived in the Chesapeake last summer in Crisfield, but I've never really known oysters. Like we learned a lot about crabs in Crisfield, but nothing about oysters. And they have just so many placards about how they're raised, you know, how beneficial they are to the environment, especially here in the Chesapeake. And it's just amazing to learn about them. I have a very much better appreciation for oysters than I did before.
Boat building week. Wow.
Alright, go ahead.
That was a fantastic stop. And if you want to go to the actual museum, it was closed because it's 7 o'clock, but it's $5 per person. And I think that's well worth it. There's a lot of information there from the outside, so I gotta say there's probably a lot inside too. We just met Glenn and Laura. They are anchored here on the loop currently, started in Mobile. It's just nice. It's always nice meeting loopers. It's just a very nice community.
Yeah.
Tight-knit and very welcoming. I mean, everybody's welcoming. So that's a big win for loopers out there.
Thank you all so much for watching our day in Deltaville as we fix the leak. Tomorrow we're going to be cruising. We have like a morning cruise planned because of some foul weather in the afternoon. And so we're going to be testing it, making sure that it works for an extended cruise. We don't have any slippage on our shaft seal. So thanks for watching again, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Come on, no. I think we got enough. It's not doing it anymore. Are you something in there?
Yeah,
What? What's in there? A cat?
look straight across in the rafters.
What?
Come over here a little bit.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it is a cat. Oh my god. Scared me.
Love you.
Another cat? I heard something.
Holly, let's go. This way.